you're listening to the Mackay T Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. Well, T, we have a new president.
Well, we will, and January 21st, people, they're going to enjoy it, but January 21st, this all should be going down.
1/21/21.
And what I need now, and I know we just can't jump over stuff, but all our people that's in Georgia, I need, if you didn't participate this time, what I'm going to need for you to do is to go ahead and get registered to vote. And you might be like, T, why? Why would I mean, it's over. And I'm say, I'm glad you asked, because it's not over. Because without the Senate, Biden, Harris, and nobody will be able to do anything. Mitch McConnell already planning how he can impede this man's progress and try to make this country better. I don't know how people in Kentucky keep voting for him. Like, he has done nothing besides put judges in the courts, which when people got day-to-day issues, like you can't feed your kids, you about to get evicted. Your kids ain't got internet, they can't go to school or whatever. He don't care. All he want to do is put judges in courts. And so Biden and Harris, I don't care what you think about them, they will care about these people, your children, and your health care and all of that. So Georgians, the reason I come back to the point, the Senate is apparently tied 48 seats. Georgia got runoffs in their district. We need y'all to get down there and vote for Democrat Warnock, and I don't know what the other man's name was.
Yeah, Warnock, and I can't think of the other one's name either.
I don't make gave the man a name.
That's fine. Anybody but Loeffler. We got to vote Warnock in
Democrat.
over
Just if all else fail, if you get a name, just vote for the two Democrat senators that's coming up, and I think that's January the 5th. I want to say, not sure. We'll be back with the date. Right. We need you to go ahead and get registered for that, because guess who gets to break the tie, Brian? If there's a tie when something comes up in the Senate,
that'd be the majority and the vice president.
The vice president. There'll be no majority if it's a tie.
I said, look, my brain was in majority, and I went, no, the vice president.
Yes, the VP is the tiebreaker. So we need these two seats. And I know we doing ranting and chanting.
Oh, we can do whatever you want to do. This is our world.
I feel like you might come up with a rant and chant.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I can always do it.
But I got one for later. I'm gonna hold off on it until later. All right, go ahead. We was talking about the presidency. I got sidetracked.
So the biggest news now, first of all, Saturday evening, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got emotional when I listened to Joe Biden. I thought that was the best he sounded to date with his speech and his acceptance speech. Him and Kamala Harris almost did what I would get mad at people for doing. Almost did it. So yes,
Kamala.
Yeah. I thought they both sounded really, really, really. I mean, they sounded great, and I felt so much hope, and.
Well, Brian, you can put your hope in your pocket if we don't get these two seats in Georgia, because all Biden gonna be able to do is do executive orders. Now
we getting them. Don't even worry about it. We gonna get them, and I'm not wearing pockets anymore. I'm wearing no pockets. Look at me.
Well, you got some pockets now. You put that hope in your pocket till we get these Senate seats. Now, the good thing is I won't act like there's no good news, people, because there is. We don't have to ever see this ignorant man, at least for 4 years, up here with the lies and the foolishness.
Wait, he ain't going nowhere just yet. But
Well, he won't be. They'll show
we
his
don't have-
tweets, and they might have him on Fox. I doubt if mainstream. Most people not gonna be paying him any attention no more.
Yeah, correct.
Like this virus is out here killing people, and more people are contracting this virus.
The
Like,
last few days, they've had over 100,000 more cases.
yes,
each
we
day.
don't have time for they gave him enough attention. He was the president, so when president talk, people gonna listen. He's not the president anymore. So he can go over there and tweet, he can go on Fox and cry. But for the most part, we should not be seeing him. And if you do, ABC, CBS, NBC, people should just be like, you know what? Y'all might
Shame
be
on
fake
you.
news. And we might need to not pay y'all any attention and find our own news outlets. Like I watch Roland Martin. I don't know who you get a lot of news from, but I don't have time for y'all trying to get ratings, because that's what they do. They try to get ratings. That's why they drug this whole, oh, we ain't gonna concede, we ain't gonna say he won yet, we ain't gonna say he won yet. And all the numbers was leaning like, okay, just call it and stop playing with these people so that you can get people to watch your show. That's all you were doing. Any rate, I didn't watch them talk Biden or Harris.
Well, I figured you were
I
you were in the bed at
I
that
could have
point.
been, but I could have pulled it up, but I didn't want. I don't want to see it again. I'm looking big picture. We get
The only
Georgia.
thing
We
that
need
bothered
these
me,
seats.
the only thing that bothered me about the speeches, and I understand why it was a thing because they were trying to social distance and all that. The car honking, oh Lord! I
Well,
mean,
that's what
every
they're
other
gonna have to
word.
do, and that's how they're gonna have to do the inauguration. Because I feel like these two people will be like, we're not gonna put a bunch of people in harm's
Right.
way for our egos, and it's really more Biden because he's the president. But I think that he'll be like, we're gonna find a way to either socially distance this thing, do it on Zoom or whatever. But we're not about to go to DC and have millions of people. Brian, I went to inauguration once. Have you been to one?
I have not, but I remember
Let
you
me
telling
tell
me
you,
about your
Brian.
experience.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
I went up there to DC. It's freezing. Me, my mom, and some godmom and all whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We get there. It's freezing, but we get there. We get in. We go walk to the. They hurting you, and I do mean hurt. They hurting you to a section. So it's a huge field. I mean, it's huge. And that's several. You can. It's like thousands on thousands of people in front of us, and then you just like, okay, but we here. We good. Brian, I turned around, and there were groves and groves of people behind us. I mean, they were so far, like it was so deep you couldn't see it. You couldn't see where it ended. It was just so many people, and it's kind of scary thing. I guess I was cold and didn't pay much attention, because if they had wanted to kill and snipe one of us out, I don't think any of us that had our backs to them knew how many people had walked up behind us. But anyway,
Yeah.
if you can never go, I went because President Barack Obama that's the only reason I went, because I had never really even cared to go to one. But that's the only reason I went to that one. But it was a sight. It was a sight. It definitely was a sight. It was freezing. I do mean freezing, but it was a sight to behold. I don't think they're gonna host one though, just because of this virus. I don't know that to be the truth, but they've been doing all they election stuff. They were doing the right thing and trying to keep people safe. So I suspect this will be the same race. Um, Back to what I get on these tangents. The good news is, Bessie DeBoss, I hope you go ahead and get your stuff pack up your office.
Yes.
What's the DOJ man?
I just drew a blank on him.
Yeah. Anyway, go on and
Him.
pack up your stuff. Director of Department of Justice, you fired. Which, the neurosurgeon, what's his name? Okay, go ahead and pack up your stuff too.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
that's the good news, is that some of these jobs that these people, one, don't know what they doing, like know nothing about education or housing or justice. I don't even know that William Barr or whatever his name is, a
William
attorney.
Barr.
He
Good call.
might be an attorney, but I was just like, bruh, it's nice when you have friends in high places. I guess you get these kind of jobs and try to. But that's the good news. But we still need that Senate for some stuff to be law and not just executive orders out the executive order out the executive order. Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind. I got it, Georgia, on my mind.
Yes. Um, just a couple of things. One, this is something that I know if I'm not sure they'll listen, but if they do listen, they'll hear me say this, and hopefully they know I'm talking about them and the millions of that also spew this rhetoric.
I think you want to say that for ranting and chanting, but we can
No, no,
swerve into ranting and chanting. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
you're
I'm sorry.
right. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna hold off. I'm just gonna say. I'm
I
just.
I just feel in my spirit like that should be in the ranting and chanting.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just
even
gonna
know
say.
exactly. I feel it though.
We gonna come back to this, but I just want to say, Joe Biden does not have dementia. There is no facts. You are not a doctor. Only a doctor can. Well, you personally, T Davis, has a doctorate, but there are just people I'm speaking to. You're not a doctor. Only a doctor can diagnose that. And for all that, for what you don't know, what there is fact of, he has dealt with a stuttering problem his entire life.
Yeah, he has.
So if there is times where he pauses and seems like he's lost his place, maybe that could be the case. Why don't you think about that? But you
Well,
don't think. You don't
yeah,
think.
and I think people don't understand about dementia. I learned this in in college and grad school. Um, Obviously, dementia is an umbrella term for Alzheimer's and all kind of other mental.
Mhm.
But you have to go through extensive. Like they don't just say, "Oh, you forgetting stuff. Oh, you got it." Like you have to go through a series of tests, and not just one. Like a series of tests before they say you had it. So
Mhm.
people stop just assuming because you forgot one thing. Oh Lord, I got Alzheimer's or something. No, that ain't how that works. You have to have several like tests and all for that to be diagnosed with that.
And I'm gonna get into this further, but just because you might be around the same age as a person does not make what how lose your memory.
Your cognitive function does not. Mine don't work the same way. We don't all age the same way.
Let's be clear. Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Joe Biden are more educated than a lot of people at their age bracket. I'm just gonna throw that out there, and let's kill that noise. But we'll get more into that. Second topic I wanted to just throw into about this presidency: 70 million. 70 million people voted for number 45. It's disappointing. It really is. And thank God that he's the second most votes ever tallied for a president for in a presidential election, and the first is Joe Biden with his 74 million now.
Yeah,
Thank
75.
God. Yeah, that's
75 for him.
75 million. Yeah.
Okay, Brian wanted. Look, I'm ranting and chanting. Push the button.
Let's go.
Push it.
It's chatting and ranting.
All right. Now, look at here, people. Um, and I'm talking to white people, okay? White people and Hispanic and Latinos down in Florida.
The Cuban Americans, yes.
I don't know what y'all problem is, and if you don't like blacks, and if you don't like your other Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters, Latina brothers and sisters, y'all gonna have to get it together. Y'all gonna have to go back in the closets and under the rugs or whatever you need to do, because this is not how America want to do business. Now, he don't gave y'all 4 years of out here acting a fool, talking crazy to people, using the N word willy nilly, all of that. It's over. We not doing that no more. Okay, it's over. And you can say what you want. I can't wait for these numbers to come back out, because 53% of white women are the reason we had to deal with 4 years of this foolishness. Now, I think about 10% of y'all came to y'all senses. Thank you. And America, on the behalf of all black people, which I can't speak for all of us, but I am right now in this moment, you are welcome. Because the only reason Biden won this thing is because these black counties came through at the end in Pennsylvania and Georgia and some other places. So y'all welcome. We have been trying to get this country on the right direction for the longest time. but y'all determined to stay in power. And none of us have no power. All these Congress people got the power, and we just let them do whatever they want to. They rich. And we out here living paycheck to paycheck. Most of them people making six figures in that in all that, a house, the Congress, all that, Brian.
And trying to figure out ways to keep every penny.
Keep every penny. Now, and I ain't saying all of them, but they not really got on their mind. Why? Because we don't make them be on our mind. White poor people, they have convinced you that you white and that you better off than black and Hispanics and all. You not. You living in trailer parks, living paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us. COVID out here killing y'all too. But you think of your whiteness and you just look at that and don't care nothing about your children or your children's children. Because Mitch McConnell could care less about your children than your children's children.
Donald Trump there are literally books written where he is out there on how he feels about his actual supporters. He doesn't care about them. He
doesn't care
laughs.
about them, but
Makes fun of them.
Donald is just the face of the Republican Party. Okay, let's be clear. Donald they said, oh, we got somebody that will say all the things that we've always wanted to say and do all the things that we've always wanted to do, but we knew it was politically incorrect. Let's just put him and make him the face of the Republican Party. So yes, he has been the face of it, but the Republican Party is the problem right now. And in the 50s, 60s, and go backwards, it was the Democrats, because that's who it was. It has just flipped who it was. So let's be clear, I'm not ignorant of my history. But right now we are where the Republican Party, the GOP, the grand old party, for all of those who have missed it, y'all the problem. And if you keep voting because you've been a Republican all your life, good luck, and good luck to your children.
Yes, I told somebody the other day when we was discussing who we voted for, this, that, and the other. I said that if in the elections that I did not really even know much about, like the local elections, that I didn't, I might not have known all the candidates. I voted for Democrats. I just voted, and I told them, and they said, "Oh, well, this, and that, and other." I said, "Here's the problem. In my spirit, I'm mad at Republican Party right now because they allowed this to happen. They let him in. They
put
let
him up
him.
there.
They put him up. They championed him, and a lot of them I know are hating what's going on right now because they got to be some decent ones out there, but they're still you're on TV. There's majority of them are still out there, right there championing his push for the voter fraud that he's claiming on when he
Right.
has no basis for it.
You right there behind them instead of y'all coming out and saying, hey, that's not a thing. Oh,
Right.
but Republicans, y'all been believing in voter fraud and not just voter fraud. You just use voter fraud to suppress votes. And it's called voter suppression. Texas, one of the biggest states in the United States, and I hate to say United States because these states aren't united, but that's neither here nor there. You're gonna put one drop box in each county. You got counties big enough for some of these states. You're gonna put one in each county.
You have cities in Houston that are bigger than some states
Yeah, and you talking about that ain't voter suppression? Poor white people, I'm speaking to y'all specific. Y'all better wake up. You're gonna keep living paycheck to paycheck, and when you go to the doctor, one healthcare emergency away from bankruptcy and all of that. Keep voting Republic. And again, I'm not saying the Democrats have done it right all the time because they have not. But y'all got to get out here, Georgia, because Georgia gonna be on my mind. Georgia's on my mind. Georgia is on my mind. Brian, you right. 70 million people voted for this man.
It's so, it's so easily seen that first of all, there was no voter. There's been no evidence of voter fraud in anywhere, any state.
Trump's first election. Pause for 1 second, please.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna forget.
Go ahead.
Trump's first run, when he was crying about, the numbers and all that, he had a whole team. Let's look into this. Guess what? They disappeared. Why? Because they found no evidence.
They found no
Okay, go
evidence.
ahead.
Yes, yes, because he just couldn't understand why he lost the popular vote in 2016. Yes, for anyone that doesn't know what T's referring to. Anyway, they there's been no evidence. Literally, the votes that have overtaken him are the mail-in ballots. The majority of mail-in ballots, because who has been at this point championing mail-in ballots? Get your ballots in early. Do your ballots in early. What party?
We know because he
The
told them
Democrats.
don't
Yes.
mail in, don't just to be like
Thank
okay.
you. He said, "Don't mail in. Show up on election day." And the election day turnout, there was big numbers for him. Big numbers for him
Well,
in
it
many
might
of
have
these
been
states.
good that he did that because for all we know, Brian, it's more Republicans out here that would have did us in. And I
This
use
is
us
true,
loosely because I don't just necessarily identify as a Democrat, but
right?
I use that
Yeah.
very loosely. But I'm for self-preservation and not just myself, but just others. Like this system is jacked up, and I ain't even talking about justice, education. These kids out here don't know a pole from a pole, and I mean POLL and a POLE.
LLNPOLE.
They don't know a pole from a pole, and
Yes.
we just out here ignorant.
Neither does the president. He tweeted out about polls, but he put POLE
Oh
instead of
Lord.
POO. Yes. Yes, he
So
did.
it's bad out here, Brian. And part of the reason that you have people that don't understand how the system works. For example, what is one of the main things, or the is not one of, because there's only one thing that Trump kept touting that he was doing for black people. You don't
Oh,
remember justice
no.
reform.
Right.
Okay, guess how justice reform came to be?
Let's go with it.
The House.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the House that's majority Democrats. They sent
Mm-hmm.
that to Congress. Congress voted on it. And then he just signs it and said, I did that. Well, you didn't. Democratic House pushed that to you. If they don't make that happen, you don't get to sign anything. Because you surely weren't going to come up with no executive order to do it. But the Democrats, dumb dumbs, they won't ever say that and let people know how this thing works. Because you can't assume people going to be at how many characters in Twitter? The
40,
200 or whatever in
yeah,
Instagram and 200
100,
whatever.
140, right? And then there's 280 for the special folks. But that's another story. Go ahead.
Well, there ain't enough characters for you to learn this on social media. Some of y'all gonna have to pick up a book or
That's what
look
I
at a
have been
documentary
screaming.
or something.
People
And stop listening to the Twitterverse.
you had said this. You asked this earlier, just in passing. You talked about how we get our news, and I don't. You had said I don't know how you get your news. Talking about me,
Right.
I will watch certain things, but what I do after I watch, I hear certain things. I go and I research and I
Right.
read and I get the information. That I have been screaming this from the top of my lungs. People close to me that I've been trying to get them to understand. There's so much more information out there, and they will read something and just know that. I mean, they'll see something on TV and just see that as fact. That's it.
Take it as
Or on social media, and that's fact. It
they
has to
have
be
not
what it
been
is.
taught to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
And while the internet might have been a great invention, this Twitter and all that is people's brains are they just we are inherently lazy. And I use that in the form of we are habitual creatures. Like I've been watching this PBS documentary
Yes.
on the brain. We are habitual
Mm-mm.
and we will like driving. Most people drive home from work, they don't remember much about the drive because your brain remembers how to do what you don't have to do. When you first start driving, you know how much attention you paying to braking, how much
Oh
pressure
yeah.
you putting on the brake, all that. You don't do that anymore because your brain is like, okay, we got this. Let's go on to something else. We are lazy, inherently lazy. And if you don't push yourself to be like, let me think outside the box. That's why sometimes, and I ain't toot my horn, but I'll be like, let me go a different way to work. Because I just always drive the same way to work. and I say always lucid because I do sometimes be like, oh, I'm gonna go this way to work. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go this way home just to break up. Because even when I walk, when you walk through the store, have you noticed that? And you probably haven't noticed. You take the same route when you go to Publix or Kroger's or wherever your store is. You go to the same direction. Whether it's you going to groceries first, or and then you make your way around the store the same way. And that's why, I can tell you the layout of Publix, and I have to tell it in a certain way. And there are sections of Publix I don't go to because habitually, like, I just never visit them, and there may be something over there I don't need, whatever. But we are habitual, we lazy, and that's why we okay with reading 200 words instead of picking up a book with 200 pages, because for some reason we don't have time, and that's fine. If that's gonna be your life, find somebody to follow that at least they doing the work, and that you can trust that like they are reading books, and
Yeah.
not just
Um,
Joe Smo that you don't know and you think they tweet cute.
and what I love, and I had up until this weekend, I had not experienced this honestly, because my little bitty Twitter account doesn't have a huge following, about 7,000 followers, and I didn't even know that until this weekend when I tweeted out a nice little tweet, basically giving my thoughts on hope and possibilities being restored, and it got a lot of praise for it from people that I really respect. And then I woke up Sunday morning and realized that I had another comment under my tweet, basically saying that I have 7,000 followers and 6 people like my tweet. Um, Everybody that sees this thinks you're an idiot. So I had to investigate, and I went to this certain person's Twitter account and saw that they were strong on the Trump train, and knew that it was not going to be worth my time to even engage. So
You
I
should
left
have
it
been
alone.
messy and be like, I'm just glad you could read it. Cause
I,
they and I'm not saying this.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
No, I
But
want
they
you to
say the
know
majority of his voters are uneducated. That
that
ain't me.
I, that
That's the news.
I had at least 3 or 4 drafts saved, just of certain things I wanted to come back. But I said, you know what? It's Sunday. I'm happy, and I feel positive, and just that hope is now. It's not there yet. I can't touch it, but I can see it. And for 4 years now, I haven't been able to see it, and at least I can actually see, a possibility for hope now. And I just kept saying, you know what? You're not gonna dim my spirit.
Well, that's the thing about hope, though, Brian. You don't see it, and that's like faith. You don't see it. It's walking in what you don't see.
Well,
Because
you
if you
know what
see
I
it, it ain't
mean.
no need for hope. No, I'm just saying because people, and not just you, like we talk about things in certain ways, but
Hmm.
the point, like for years I've been saying keep hope alive, and so people
Hmm.
probably be feeling like, oh, well, T say these things because of this environment. No, I've been saying that because if you don't have hope, you it's gonna either be a miserable life or you're gonna check out.
Yeah. I know, just on a personal level, and I go back to 2016 to when he was running for president, and I mean Donald Trump. And I've
44.
said this before, and I talked about this, on the show before, and I wrote blogs, posts about it, and watching him make fun of that reporter, I still see it every day. I just because I've lived that. I've lived people. For people that don't know, and then most of the people listening to this show do know and understand, I have Klippel-Feil syndrome and scoliosis. And the Klippel-Feil syndrome, basically, my neck is shorter than that of a normal person's, whatever normal is, neck size. And I've literally been made fun of because of that, or, been ridiculed, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
my entire life.
Hmm.
There's not a day goes by where I don't get stares when I'm out places.
Right.
And I, when I watched him make fun of that reporter, it hit me, and I promise you, and it's not there. And 4 years later, there was so many other reasons not to vote for him, but I didn't vote for him then, and I wasn't going to vote for him now, and that was the number one reason. But like I said, there was so many other reasons on top of that. But I can never, but I couldn't get past it because I could see myself in that reporter, and I could see myself. I'm sure he goes places all the time, and he's looked at because of his disability, his handicap, and he he probably he was like me. He doesn't like being out in public very much because of that. And for 4 years, I've seen the people who champion Donald Trump and just treat him like he's just this god. And I said, there are so many. Clearly, there's 70 million people that feel the way he feels and gonna act the way he acts. Why would I want to go and subject myself to that? So knowing that he's no longer in a place of power made me, that hope and that possibilities that I talked about in that tweet. That it made it to where it was, something that I can attain again, something that I can get out there. And for those who wonder, well, you're however old you think I am, uh, how do you still letting that bother you?
Yes,
Let me rest assured, I'm no longer that little kid that would cry and go running to his mom and dad every time he got picked on, or no longer that person. I have nieces and nephews in my life that literally love me for who I am, and they don't know me any different. They don't see any differences in me, and because of them, they give me strength to be out there, and I don't even notice it anymore. I mean, it is what it is, and
well, Brian,
yeah,
thank you for sharing that. Look, like I'm the host.
I
And
know.
I'll say this. um, One of the things that the little girl and the little boy in us, they don't forget those things. Like whether you over it, like okay, you understand, like that's what it is. It is what it is. Like I could be running around mad because he called a lot of black women nasty, or women in general he don't like for some reason. He talk crazy to women more so than men, and the men
Mhm.
seem to have no courage to stand up to him. Old boy in Texas, he talked about your wife, talk craziness. If I was your wife, I'll have a problem with you every day that I see you because you're kissing up
Right.
to this man that talk disrespectful, talk crazy about me, and you just like anyway. This is ranting and chant, so I guess I can't go on these tangents.
Go
But
for it.
um, again, GOP knew who he was. They put him up as the face because that's the things that they feel and believe in, and they were like, he would say all the things that we couldn't say because we want to be politically correct. But now the problem is they see that, oh, we can be offensive and nobody's going to care because he got 70 million votes. So who knows what this is going to look like from here after, because but we trying to tell y'all people, in the real world, they can do that in Congress and y'all can act a fool, but this ain't what we doing. We don't seen too many videos. Again, I ain't saying again. I don't condone fighting, but you push the wrong person button, they might not have my mindset of I don't hit other people's children. So you run out here and call somebody the N word or laugh at somebody that's handicapped and get smacked down. Don't think just hey, cause he can do it and he got bodyguards and secret service. You ain't got no secret service and no bodyguard. No, and everybody got their cameras out these days. So y'all better don't be out here playing.
All you got is a left and a right, and if you can't use them, you're gonna be in trouble.
And don't be trying to pull out no gun either. You take your butt whipping and go home.
You got any more chanting
I
and
do
ranting
want to
on
rant and
us?
chant. Let one
Go,
more thing. This
go
ain't nothing
for it.
about no president. This is about these Florida Gators. Now,
That's where I was
Larry, I'm
going.
talking to you, Larry Montgomery, and the rest of y'all Gators that feel the same way he do. Our offense is good, right? Yes. They
Yes.
averaging 40 some points. Our offense is not going to take us to a championship. Why? Because we saw how that offense stalled out against Georgia in the second half. Now you didn't see it. They had like 38 points at halftime, Brian, or
Mm.
thereabout. It was
Yes.
31.
Okay, I did see that. I didn't watch the game, but I do recall seeing that score and thinking, yeah.
You had 38 points at halftime. Guess what? The second half, you scored 3 points in the third and 3 points in the fourth. Now your defense, you gonna say, oh well, Georgia got 28. One of them was on a pick six. Guess what? They were dropping the balls. The quarterbacks were so bad. People had got behind the defense. They couldn't. They just overthrew them.
Mhm.
Like this offense is good. This offense cannot win. This is just like that year that the defense was holding us down when Driscoll went 11-1, and people act like that. Oh, they good. They good. We 11-1, and people just like you do see how awful this offense is. The only reason because this defense could hold people down to 6 and 10 points. Like that's the only reason we were winning. This is the same thing. This offense, if it stalls, and well, Pitts didn't play in the second half. I can hear you out there. Oh, Pitts got hurt on that play where they got the targeting. Well, guess what? Pitts could twist his ankle and not play. Like you can't assume that these people gonna be out on this field. Pitts could get COVID or something and not be out there. And so what then? You this defense has got to show up.
Yeah, because when the games get tighter and the games get more advanced. When you get to the SEC championship, you get to
Alabama
you
will
know
destroy us.
they're gonna be.
They'll
It's
have
gonna
like
be a
80
tight.
points.
Yeah.
This, Georgia just was garbage on offense, and maybe that was Larry. Shout out. I'm still on you. Maybe that he was like because he kept saying I don't think that Georgia can score, and I was just like I don't know what defense you've been watching. They shouldn't even had 21 first play of the game, Brian.
Hmm.
Sweep left, take it to the house, 75 yards. We go 3 and out. They come back with a toss, long pass. The kid hurt his ankle, but he catch it, touchdown, 14-0.
Mm.
Now we came right back and scored, and we took the lead. And again, we scored 38 of those 44 points in the first half. Georgia figured out I guess they figured out what we was doing. I don't know what Florida was doing. And I watched the game. I was like, Tony is not, he don't have it. I know you want to get him his touches, but he ain't got it today. While we keep throwing it at him. But at any rate, I don't want to depend on this offense. Why? Because sometimes it's the last team that had a ball. Oh, ask Texas A&M, that one loss that we have. Texas drove straight down the field and scored.
Yes. Yes. Yes, they did.
So, Florida fans, I need y'all to stop hanging your hat on this darn offense. Because actually defense wins these championships. And then I know all these teams, everybody been giving up a lot of points. And I say everybody loses, but I mean that Notre Dame Clemson game, that was a whole bunch of points scored.
Yes, it was. But but we have evidence. I know Nick Saban's been giving up a lot of points there at Alabama this year, just like everybody else has. But there's evidence that when it comes down to time, when the games matter, Nick Saban has his defense prepared, and they can stop you when it counts.
Them,
And
Clemson,
time
somebody
again.
always find a way. LSU last year, their defense found a way.
Yes, they did.
And we should beat Arkansas and Vandy and Kentucky and all them, but we still got to play LSU. Now LSU ain't great, but they can score. And if our defense can't get off the field, I don't want to be in a shootout where we like, well, let's see who got the ball last.
Mm. Yeah, they got to tighten it up if they want to get up there with the big boys.
So, Florida, get it together. Coaches, put these masks on. If you can't find one, tape it to your face. I'm tired of y'all walking around here like this virus ain't real. And that's all these coaches. I keep seeing them with the mask down or completely, or it's under their nose still, like you talked about.
That
And I'm
drives me
just like, do
nuts.
y'all not think this stuff real? And maybe you don't. but at least you say you care about these athletes. I feel
Listen,
like they should have to put their mask on as soon as they step off the field, but they don't either.
I spent the early part of Saturday at an aquarium with my 3-year-old niece. She wore her mask just fine the entire time she was in there, covered her entire, face, no problem. So if a 3-year-old
So
can
if a
do it,
3-year-old can do it, a 30-year-old plus grown man can.
thank you.
You just choosing not to.
Correct.
Oh, I get caught up in the game. Okay, you already don't have the virus, Mullins. Now I will say on his behalf, he did. I did not see him with it down this time. This game, I did not. He had the neck one. I saw it up
Okay.
the whole time. But defense coordinator, short thing of him, he was under his chin. I was just like, bro, y'all out here, y'all out here wilding out. Y'all is out here acting like this virus ain't real. Well, good luck with that. That's all I can say. Okay, ranting the chant is over. Let's get to some fun stuff.
Oh, okay. So, new segment for this week. Well, it's not a new segment, but we haven't done it in a while. So, bringing back an old segment, I guess I should say. Where are they now?
Yes.
Mr.
Or where
Sam
is it?
Perkins.
Where's Samuel?
Well, let's
Is his
just.
is his government name Samuel? Before I keep saying that, I need to stop.
We keep. I have no. I
Let me look.
still.
I'm okay. You go ahead with that. I'm gonna look up
Okay.
his
Well,
government
I'm
name.
gonna run down his bio for people that may
Sam Perkins,
misremember or don't know.
lefty, North Carolina. Okay, go ahead on.
Yes, 1980 McDonald's and Parade All American in high school, 3-time college basketball All American at UNC, 3-time All ACC, ACC Tournament MVP in 1981, NCAA champion in 1982. Thank you, Michael.
I often say he
Uh,
would have been with Michael and James Worthy. Don't you act like
mm,
James Worthy wasn't on that team. Go ahead.
he got the steal that sealed it. They threw that ball right anyway. Number 41, retired by North Carolina. 1984 Olympic gold medalist. He was the co-captain on the team. USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year that year in 1984. Had a 17-year NBA career. Played for, and I did not realize he played for Dallas Mavericks before going to Los Angeles and then Seattle and Indiana. Played in the NBA Finals 3 times in 91 with LA and 96 and 2000 with Indiana. No, 96 was Seattle and 2000 with Indiana. 15,324 points, 7,666 rebounds, 933 blocks. No All-Star selections in a 17-year career, which was kind of surprising. I figured he'd at least get one. Had twin daughters, China and Cheyenne, both played volleyball at TCU. Um, from 2013 to 2016. Also has a son named Julian, and I tried to find any kind of sports accolades on him. Could not do so. Before press time, listen to me. Inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2018. Member of the ACC 50th anniversary team in 2002. And now, since I think it was 2000, so the last 10 years, since 2010, he has put on basketball camps in the Chapel Hill area. Now, could not find exactly where he was living, so I'm not sure he's actually living in North Carolina. But he's been putting on basketball camps every year, but this past year, clearly with the COVID, he had to cancel this year's camp. But for the past 10 years, he's been putting on basketball camps for the youth and basically just kind of paying it back to the.
Well, Samuel. His name is Samuel Bruce Perkins.
Well, look at that. Didn't know his middle name was Bruce, so there you go.
Bruce.
Yeah,
Samuel
I
Bruce
had
Perkins.
no idea he played for Dallas when he first started his NBA career. And actually had some pretty big numbers at Dallas.
Well, I want to say that Sam, I know the Lord sent us to earth when he want us here, but you could have played in this NBA. You step out and shoot the three, he would be perfect.
Yes. Yes, he definitely would fit right on in. I remember when he came to LA, it was literally like a year. Of course, they went to the finals in '91, and then the next year, HIV struck, and It just seemed like he came there, and then he came to Seattle. L.A. he went to the finals. Seattle he went to the finals. Runs into Michael Jordan during Michael Jordan's heyday, and then when he moves to Indiana, gets another chance at the final in 2000, and he runs into Shaq and Kobe. So basically, Phil Jackson was holding him down. Phil Jackson was holding
Sometimes
him down.
it be that way sometimes. Well, look, I want you to do an investigation on you remember Hersey Hawkins?
Oh my.
Can you find out where he disappeared to?
Yes, where are they now? Hersey Hawkins. That's for next week. I'll do some investigating. I surely will.
And
He was one of my favorite players just because of the way he just. I love watching him shoot. He's always one of them just can light it up.
who Hersey?
Mm-hmm.
Lil
all
Hersey
over
could
the
look.
court.
I call him Lil. Lil Hersey could play. He
Yeah.
might, I should have asked you to look up my cousin, cause I ain't seen. He played at Duke. Was it Duke?
Oh, Hubert.
Yeah.
Hubert on Duke's coaching staff, I
Oh,
believe.
okay. We know where he is. Okay, good. We know where he is. Hubie.
In recent years, he might have actually got a head job, but I know in recent years he's been with Krzyzewski. So
Okay,
yes,
so we
yes,
know where my cousin is.
I've laid eyes on him
Sometimes I
recently.
lose sight of my relatives.
That's hilarious.
I think you're gonna have to cut this and go look, and not that they not need to hear it. I forgot to rant about Tommy Tuberville, but maybe it ain't even worth the energy. All right, let's keep going.
It really isn't, because
That man is dumb as bricks. How is he in the Senate is beyond me. He can tell you about
because
football and nothing else. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
So
gotta look him up. Is it time for the
is it time for the top 5?
The
Yes, it
5.
is.
This is hard.
Top 5.
I guess it wasn't hard. It was kind of hard.
It's time for the top 5.
I'm just making up my own rules, though.
Well, that's fine, because Lord knows our listeners know that's what you do every time. Top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And God, I hope we ever get another one, because it just seems like so long since we've had one. Spider-Man Far From Home seemed like it was years ago.
I'm mad about the ending of that. I'm still mad. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, the bamboozlement,
No,
trickery.
it's dumb. He a young dumb kid. Okay, but then they showed his identity, and I was like, wait a minute, where are we going with this? So anyway,
Apparently, see, before we get into top 5,
okay.
apparently, since you brought this up, I did some research on it.
Okay.
Apparently, because I didn't read the comics, so I didn't know this. I had to go back and research it on my own. In the comics, there is the actual time where that same thing happens, and Doctor Strange puts some kind of thing out there in the universe and basically makes everyone forget. Once they clear Peter Parker's name, he makes everyone forget who Spider-Man is, basically all over again.
So then he start from scratch.
So Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, I think it comes out before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming up. So I think that's where they're gonna go. I think
they're gonna try to spin it.
Doctor Strange is supposed to have a part in the new Spider-Man. So
okay, there we go. So, all right,
there you go. Don't quote me on that, but if I'm right, I'm right.
I can't.
Top 5 MCU movies. All right. This was difficult, but I put
mine ain't in no order either. I just got 5 of them.
That's fine. I put mine in order just because I had time this morning. Number 5, Iron Man, the original. Number 4, Black Panther. Just for so many reasons. First of all, it was now many of them before had become billions of dollars worth of movie revenue, but Black Panther was one of the fast. I'm not gonna call it the fastest because I couldn't find that written anywhere, but I know it was one of the fastest to reach $1 billion in the box office, and just the the significance of that and the fact that it just brought billions and billions of people to to the movies to see that on screen and the visual of it. So after that, I have Captain America: Civil War because that was basically like an Avenger movie. Black Panther was in there. You introduced Spider Man. Um, there was just so much in that movie, so much going on, and it kind of set up the next two of Avengers. Endgame was my number two, and then I put my number one is the Infinity War. And because like I said, I've never read the comics, so I didn't know this was a comic storyline. When they started disappearing on screen at the end of the Infinity War, I lost my mind. And man, I just didn't see it coming. And so that one is always, and honestly, I could rewatch them all, but those are my top five that I can just rewatch over and over again.
Um, again, these not like in order because I just like all of them. But
Hmm.
Iron Man, the first one, the Civil War, whatever that was, Avengers.
Hmm.
I liked Captain Marvel.
Me too. I had a list of honorable mentions, but I was like, I'm not even
um,
gonna get into them.
Black Panther, and this is where I had to just took my own. I like both Ant-Man 1 and 2.
Me too.
So I put them in the 5 slot. I was like, they just like, you don't need to see one of the movies to see the other one. Like, you can enjoy these movies without actually knowing all the ins and outs.
Right. That's the good part about these things. Yes, they all tie into each other, but you didn't have to see. Now I think going forward it's going to change. You're going to have to see all to know what's going on, but you really didn't have to see every last one of them. You to still enjoy each individual movie.
And my honorable mention, I really like Doctor Strange.
Yes. That's
And I'm still waiting. They need to come on because I thought they did an excellent job of the futuristic when you throw him into another world when she hit Doctor Strange and his body come out of his body, like all of that was
man. The visuals, I'm
genius.
telling you, that was
It was
beautiful.
genius. So Doctor Strange and Black Panther hadn't came along, you might have made my list, but
Oh, since you brought up Captain Marvel, where is Goose? Why have we not seen Goose?
I don't
Well,
know.
I
Ain't nobody
understand that
told me.
the end of Infinity War and Endgame had to happen so quickly that there's a lot going on in the movie, so we really didn't have time. But I need to know where Goose is.
Brian, Endgame that was just so long. I can't vote for that. I can't go vote for no 10-hour movie. That movie was 15 hours and 24 minutes. After 24 hours, you just get tired of waiting for the end to come.
It was 48 hours and
Yeah.
32,
And
72 hours.
right, after 72 hours, you just like, is this gonna be over? So yeah. I was just like, this is stupid. And I had to watch it in 2 parts. I'm
Uh,
serious. I watched it. I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Cause I was
I
just
really
like,
thought
I can't.
I really thought that they were gonna do that, like have an intermission and everything in the theater. Thank God they didn't.
Man,
But
you had to pee or something. You had to sit and hold it all that time. So
mm,
hopefully you didn't drink a lot of water. This was when people could still go to the movies.
yes,
Hopefully you
and
didn't drink a lot of water, cause you would be in trouble. But
96 hours.
yeah, you like what? It still ain't over.
What stage play was that, bro?
That's my deal.
Yes,
One
I'm
of them
trying to
my
think.
deal
I
movies.
can't remember which one it
I
was.
don't
Oh my
remember,
God, she
but
just kept on going.
he kept adding all them that time, and I'm still stripping.
Yeah,
And I'm still stripping. And yeah, that's hilarious. The good
it's
old
too
days.
funny.
The good old days.
Well, only thing I have left on the docket is just to give a rest in peace to Alex Trebek.
Alex, yeah, we wonder who gonna take over with Jeopardy. I think
Uh,
they should get like the former winning this guy or something.
Yeah, they had not too long ago. They had the three most winningest guys on there going after each other, trying to win. I
And
just feel like they should just alternate it.
I don't want to alternate it. Just give one of them the job, or um,
No, just get another
if
celebrity to do it because
no, we didn't know. Well, I didn't know Alex until he did Jeopardy.
well, yeah, but what I meant by that, like they just brought back a bunch of different game shows, like Supermarket Sweeps.
Hmm.
Leslie Jones is doing awesome as the host, and that's a show that I used to watch, just like Jeopardy, just like the what's Price is Right. I used to watch all those shows growing
Hmm.
up, and I just feel like you could find a celebrity to fill in,
I
to
feel like it'd just be
cover.
cool for us not to know this brainiac that you could get, and not that it's not celebrities that's out here smart,
And
because there are
Jeopardy is
several
the
of them.
one show that you can do that. And and I think it would go over well. Is to have someone like you said, just have like the winningest guy come in there and just be an intellect because I always thought of Alex Trebek as tip top smart. That's how I always thought. He was the game show host, but he carried himself like he knew everything that was going
Like
on.
he really knew the answers to them
Yeah.
questions.
I was like, how does he know all this? But yeah, he passed away of a long battle with cancer at the age of 80 this past Sunday. So yeah,
Well, Brian, I'm proposing this would be fun. I don't know
okay.
which movie we can start
Oh
with. It
yes,
don't even
yes,
have to be
yes,
a
yes.
movie. It could be a TV series or whatever.
I
A
forgot you do have a
recast.
yes recast. You have a new segment for us. Recast. Yeah. Honestly, I've been thinking about it this weekend. I don't know what movie I would really like
Well,
to.
let's recast one of these. Well, we don't want to pick like a Avenger one. What if we had to recast like an Iron Man or something?
Let's do that. Let's do Iron Man because there's a lot of different things we could go with that one. Because he's dead now, so if they
Yeah, he
bring him
going on to
back,
glory.
yeah.
And I know people don't. A lot of people don't follow DC, but I actually like the X-Men and Logan and all them. DC got to get it together. What y'all
Okay,
over there doing?
okay. First of all, the X-Men are Marvel. Let's.
I always do that. Why
That's
do I
fine.
always
That's
put
fine.
them? You
That's
know what? Because them first X-Men movies were really kind of
uh,
low grade.
uh,
You
uh,
right. X-Men. I always do
uh,
that, and I know that I know
that's
that.
fine. That's fine. Because they fixed to come on in the MCU and it's gonna be okay. But no, DC, and what they call it now, the
Superman,
DCEU.
Batman.
They yeah.
Um,
Yes, my
they
sister
got
bought
to
my nephew a DCU book bag, and I was like, "Why'd you do that? Could have got him a Marvel book bag. You know that boy likes Spider Man.
Well, he might like Batman or Superman or
He don't even know who
Justice
they are.
League, or like
The,
one that I really enjoy is Suicide Squad.
the only reason he knows Batman at all is because of the theme song. Him
No,
and
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no. I don't even know.
him and his sister. They constantly singing that darn song.
No, 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 no. And
Batman.
if you get them up on early enough on a Sunday, which they should still be sleeping because they babies, they should be sleeping a long time. That
Not them,
old
child.
Batman be on. That old
Oh my
Batman
goodness.
with the
With
red phone and them bad
yes.
them bad uniforms. I
Oh
always laugh
gosh.
when I turn by and see it. I be like,
That's hilarious.
"Simper me timbers, Batman. Golly gee Willikers, Batman." I be like, Robin, what is wrong with you? They need to do a Flash. I think they should do a Flash. What's Flash name? Um,
You know
I
I
know Flash's name. Flash's name is Barry Allen. They need to do
yes.
Barry Allen startup because we don't really know much about Barry. They tried to do a little bit when they did the Justice League movie, and his dad in jail. Not really sure why we went that route, but maybe that's the whole thing with the with the comic book series. I'm not
Right.
happy with what direction Wonder Woman's whole journey is going. Um, the first movie was okay, but I didn't like it. Let me rephrase it. I didn't love it. It was okay. I guess I could say I like it. Um, we all know Superman, Batman, Cyborg. I will say probably my favorite movie for them right now is Aquaman
Mm-hmm.
because they did an excellent job. Aquaman and Suicide Squad, they did an excellent job with making me think they was underwater.
I think the new Suicide, this one that's coming out, the Suicide Squad, is going to be even better than the first.
I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of my cousin being Amanda Waller. And I was like, that's just like the person that's in the comic.
And the only reason I say that is because of who the director is. The director is James Gunn, who directed both the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which
Mhm.
are two more that would have made my honorable mentions list for top 5
Ah,
MCU.
I think the first one was fine, and then after that they just went left. I like the Thors. Um, Probably like the first one more than the other ones.
Yeah, the second
Way you
one
get
was
thrown out.
terrible. Uh,
Um,
then Ragnarok was just, it was trippy, it was weird. But that's
it
Taika
was too much of the
Waititi.
Hulk talking, and I was like, I can't do this with y'all, so I'm gonna just go away.
But that's,
Um,
if you know the director of the third one, the Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi. That's kind of his mo. It's the way he gets down. It's making things real off the wall, kind of crazy.
but that ain't what we looking for. It's all we already know. We in the crazy, unreal universe. Just stick to the plan. The
Because
Hulk
he
don't talk.
actually directed uh, the satire movie they did on the Anne Frank type deal. The
Hmm.
what was the name of that? Scarlett Johansson was in it. It was just recently out. I can't think of the name of that movie. Um,
No. Coming to America. What y'all waiting for? Did they say December?
I need them to come on because,
I feel like they told me December.
and it's going to be on. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. You brought my mind back. It's supposed to be on Amazon Prime as well.
They paid
Hmm.
that what 250 million to get it.
Yes, Jojo Rabbit is the movie I was talking
Lord,
about.
I ain't never even heard of
Yeah,
JoJo.
yeah,
The mama
yes.
call him JoJo. I'ma call him JoJo. Mm-mm.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. They got a remake coming out. I did not know
You
that.
know I don't watch no scary movies. Oh, Spell. I meant to text you about Spell. Loretta Devine and dude that played Ghost, Omari Hardwick.
Oh,
It's a scary movie, and I was scared watching the
yes,
trailer. I was like, I
yes. I
can't.
read that.
And I was like, I
I
want
read
to see
about
this, but I don't like scary movies, so I'm probably never going to see it. But
that.
it was intense, like Love something,
Lovecraft Country. Yes,
Um,
just finished up his first season.
been intrigued by that, but haven't seen anything but the trailer. But I've been listening to people talk about it, and I just be like, you know what, I don't know if it's scary. It sounds scary. Just not interested in scary movies at all.
It gets a little intense on the scary side toward the end, but I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, but
So it's more thriller-ish
right.
than scary.
I just say this. What's the boy from Key and Peele, Jordan Peele?
Hmm.
He has an interesting mind. Is all I'm gonna say. He can put some things together.
Right. And so him and the Karen Hunter show had the woman that one of the women that writes on it, and they were talking about the ending and all, and I was like, interesting how they work to make these um write the scripts and all was interesting.
Yeah,
So
I know that you haven't seen it, so I don't want to spoil anything for you. But
Bad Boys 3.
oh
You
no,
know
I'm
I
talking
still
about,
ain't seen that either. Go ahead.
you need to check it out because it sets it up perfectly at the end for to have a fourth one.
Hmm.
But one of the two. it sets it up for a fourth one, but one of the two main characters,
Oh, we
doesn't
talked about it.
necessarily.
I don't care if you told me Will might be back, but what's his name might not. It's
Right.
still gonna be new to me. I don't care when people tell me what happened, because I'm just like, I still gotta see it, because your interpretation not gonna be like mine.
True.
Um
Yeah, and I think I think Martin Lawrence would still be a part of the movie. It just wouldn't be like one of the main, kind of be a deal where he just off being a grandpa,
well,
and they kind
if
of
he
show
gonna
him every
have a
so often.
grandpa body and all, he gonna need some.
Well,
So, and if he don't want to get lean and mean looking, you can't be running around here with Will and these young whippersnappers. Um,
because
that that uh, it was another movie that had just popped in my head that I was waiting for. Um, Coming to America. I don't think we ever gonna see the 007. They can archive that and just just archive that, and we'll wait till whenever to
right,
see the lady. Um, what movie was it? Anyway, yeah, we waiting for these movies, people. Um, some of y'all gonna did you hear anything about the one that was number one with the this weekend on the box office? It looked like it was gonna be good. The country movie where they went to get their grandson, and apparently in Crazy Town.
no,
What was the name that they want their grandson back? Oh man, hold on, movies.
yes, that's not sounding familiar at
You,
all.
I kept
I'm,
saying it because I was
I'm sure, I'm
they were
sure that
showing me the ah
it's in the theaters right now.
yes ah they want their grandson back. Let him go.
Let him go. Okay.
That looked like it's going. Well, I mean it's out now, but I was like, that's intriguing. The, they going to get that grandbaby, and them people crazy look like.
Wow. Oh, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane. I didn't even
hmm
know. Okay.
Let him go. Look like it's gonna be intriguing. I, have
Interesting.
you seen Brick Mansion?
Big mansion. No, I have not.
Brian, I saw
Oh
Brick
no.
Mansion. It's got the dude that died from the Fantastic series.
Oh, Paul Walker. Yes.
Yeah, Brian, we got to start with this remaking movies, and they pretty much that movie is an adaptation of a movie called District 13 that was done
Uh-huh.
in France somewhere, in
Uh-huh.
Europe somewhere. France. I say that because they spoke French. Um, like they didn't change much about it. I was like, well, if y'all gonna do this, because I'm watching the movie, I was like, wait a minute, this like Brick Mansion. I said, let me see the date. And I was like, oh, Brick Mansion like this. And it's a solid idea, but then when you realize they just remade, you just like, bruh, what are y'all doing? District
Hmm.
13, go ahead.
I know. Now that I see it was 2014, I do remember when that came out. I don't know why I never saw it, but
I don't think anybody saw it. I saw it by mistake, I feel like. I was just like, oh, what's this? And then I was like, okay, well, we here now. Let's see. But Brick Mansion is a copy of, just like I didn't know Red Dawn. I didn't know that was a remake. So I guess a lot of these movies be remaking. If you don't know it, they ain't gonna tell you. But they did put it in the thing, like there's a adaptation on the internet when I went to look up the dates to see who came out first.
yes, indeed.
So recasting Iron Man, Lord, let me pull up the cast. Not now, but so I can have it in my save.
Oh yeah, this ought to be fun because
Cause
no
this is one of
offense.
this and like Batman Begins, like these are there are very few, or in my limited knowledge of these things, of the ones that I've seen, there are very few really good origin stories for characters. And Iron Man's is good, and Batman Begins is good. When they erased it and started all over with him.
When I tell you I'm excited to recast certain parts of this movie,
Oh
I
no.
can't wait to. And this is just personal. I'm not asking anyone else to feel this way. But Gwyneth
Oh no.
Paltrow, I
I
need
know
you.
you're finna get rid of.
I need you to remember what movies you were in. She was on that darn Netflix show with Jon Favreau and had no idea she was even in a Spider-Man movie. I need you to know that.
Well, I
You
mean,
ain't
later on, her list of movies is really long.
listen. You know you was in a Spider-Man movie. You need to stop it. Look at me. I want folks to care about the movies they was in as much as I cared about watching them.
Well, what Spider-Man was she in?
She was in the first one. Remember, at the end of the movie, he was going to bring him and show him to the world. He wasn't going to say it was Peter Parker, but he was going to bring out.
Oh, you mean
Spider-Man.
the new Spider-Man? I thought you was talking about the old Spider-Man. I think she wasn't in that long enough to count it.
And honestly, to be fair to her, she probably could have been filming that right
I'm
along
gonna tell you
another
go ahead.
movie.
I'm gonna tell you what she
like to
did,
film
Brian.
theirs back on Tough. Go ahead.
It's like, can you come in and shoot this one part and go? Because she, so she came in, she shot that ending and left.
Yeah.
And she ain't thought nothing else about it. I'm telling you that what happened. Because they don't shoot this stuff necessarily in order.
Right, and
That's
and
like,
honestly,
just can you come in on this day and shoot this?
They shoot
All right, thank
some
you.
on
We
top
good.
of each other, so they could
Yeah,
have
we
very
good.
well shot that on top of Civil War or whatever.
Yeah, we good. We see y'all. Y'all, you go ahead and do whatever you gotta do. We finished with you here. This all you need to do over here. So she probably forgot because she was like, "Oh yeah, I did do that, didn't I?"
Yes.
That
Oh
did
my
happen.
God.
Oh, I wanted to say one more thing, Brian, before we. And I don't
Go
even know
ahead.
that all of this is making it. My cousin, I need to give a shout out to my cousin Gervonta Davis.
Oh my.
He won the boxing championship the other day, and I forgot to say it last week. Shout out to Gervonta, undefeated. He won his second belt. Last week was it? Last week, week before last. And he's holding 2 belts right now. And that knockout he put on that boy, I was just like, Lord have mercy. He caught him, Brian. It didn't even really look like he hit him, and then it was just like, oh no, man down. So shout out, cool, the Tank. They call him Tank. Cool, Mr.
Yes,
Heavy
indeed.
Hands from B-More.
Well, as always, I am one of your hosts, Brian McKay, and I am with
T. I got Georgia on my mind, Davis.
and this has been the Mac and T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mac and T Show. This is the Mac and T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian McKay and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mac and T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mac and T Show.